Hello everyone and welcome to CSOs on the Go, where we're keeping you in the know. My name's CSO Aishat.
And my name is CSO Josephine.
And on today's adventure, we are going to be doing a college edition interview with Vivian Ohanaja, who is a current student at Emory University. Vivian, would you like to tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yes, thank you guys for having me today. My name is Vivian Ohanaja, and I was also a CSO, so I guess I'm an alum now. I do go to Emory University, and I am a first year, and I am so far starting off undeclared, but I am looking towards the pre-health track.
Thank you for coming to our interview. It's kind of like passing the torch or whatever.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the question. So when I introduced you, I said you go to Emory University in Atlanta.
Yes.
So why did you choose to go to Emory? Like, what pulled you there?
I would say like several factors had to do with why I chose Emory, both personal and things that many people can see. So for example, Emory, like we live here, or our high school is in Austell, which is like less than an hour away, about 40 minutes away from Emory. And so the distance is really like a positive thing for me. Like I can come home on the weekends and still see my family often. So that's more personal, as well as the support that I received from Emory as well. Like they really wanted me to go, and it was more substantial than maybe other colleges that I applied to. So that's another personal one. Something that's less personal is just how beautiful it is. The community, it's also really small and tight knit. So, like as large as the campus is, it's also kind of closed off, if you could put it that way. And just everything about it is something that pulled me closer towards the school.
Thank you for sharing your answer. Like when I was younger, like I'd always hear a lot of like things about Emory and Georgia Tech because like a lot of the community-based clubs we do, like Science Olympiad or robotics or things like that, they're always involved in the community. So like that's one thing I'm excited about going into this application season.
Yeah, I would say they're definitely like, even though they're kind of closed off, they're not actually, because they stay involved with other communities around Georgia, especially that the ones that go towards helping other students as in their education pathways. They offer everything.
So while you were applying to the schools that you were applying to, how did you manage keeping up with your extracurriculars and prior responsibilities through your college and scholarship journey?
I would say just like the way that I handle everything right now is the way that I was handling that season as well. So keeping a calendar that's always updated, and also making time for the application process as well. So especially for those maybe who are magnet students or seniors in general, like we're going to be super, super busy. But we still have to remember to make time for extra studying. Maybe if you're taking the SAT, or if you are applying for colleges. What I did especially was I kind of picked out the colleges that I knew that I was going to apply to. I decided which ones were going to be early decision and which ones were going to be regular decision. And I ordered those due dates in chronological order so that I could know like which ones to focus on first and which ones to give time to first. Organization basically is the summary of that and how I processed the application season for myself, and it helped out a lot for sure.
How would you describe your school to someone who didn't know anything about it?
Like how would I describe Emory? I guess like again, it's I thought it was big, honestly. But then people were like, oh no, Emory's not the biggest campus, but there's a lot of walking for me from my campus, like from my dorm to basically any other class that I have on campus. takes at least 15 minutes to walk to, including like hills and like not straight paths, but that also contributes to its beauty as well. So I guess it's like a give and take. I don't really mind it. You get used to it after some time. I would say that the community is really nice. Um, it's really clean. They are very strict on like recycling versus trash versus compost, and stuff like that, which it makes me appreciate Emory like even more, because that's something I didn't know that they were like super like tight on. But yeah, they they get to us on that. They get on us about that type of stuff, which is kind of silly at first, but then you realize it really makes a difference. So all that goes to say that Emory, it shows how much they care about our environment, and just how that affects our overall performance, our surroundings.
What do you think the most important part of the application is? Like when you're applying, what is the most important thing of the college applications?
Yeah, I would probably say that although we have like the general Common App application, the Common App essay, that goes to all the schools that you apply to, I would say the most important parts are going to be like the specific essays for each school, and kind of incorporating what you projected in your main essay into the smaller ones, because they limit you a lot in there. So I guess a skill that you want to practice doing now is trying to incorporate that same attitude that you projected in the main essay into those really small essays, while still answering the questions directly, and also being yourself, being creative with it as well, if that's what you want to do. And I think that's what can help somebody stand out.
So we're gonna flip back and forth between like applications and like how you feel at your school. So
Mhm.
going into how you're doing, how has your freshman experience been so far? Like, what are the oohs and the ahs?
My freshman experience has been amazing to say the least. It's been also very like crazy to say the least. Like there's two equal sides, but crazy in like a good way, as in a way that I realize I'm going through certain like downfalls to like improve myself and to become a better person. So whenever I think about it like that, that's what I mean when I say crazy in a good way. Um, because the college experience, it doesn't matter where you go, it's going to push you to have more responsible characteristics. And that's just something that you cannot avoid. So the earlier you're able to face it and accept it and allow it to change you, the better. Um, there's been lots of events. Emory specifically, they are very keen on holding different events for different cultures, different identities. They're really big on that, and I love that about them is their um, diversity. Like they're not just a school where they say, "Yeah, we're diverse," but they actually like continue to act on it after the application process, after the school semester has started. Like they always have events. So I've been going to those too, and they've been really fun, enjoyable, and I've also been able to meet like new communities within the school, that I know that I can eventually network with and grow with throughout my time at Emory.
So through what you've experienced so far in your freshman year, what type of person do you think would thrive at Emory? Or do you think Emory allows multiple different types of people to thrive?
I think Emory definitely allows several different types of people to thrive, but I think that one thing that we all have in common is like how like sociable we are. Now, there are introverts and extroverts on campus, but if you were to walk up to an introvert and like start talking about something, they would still like be super nice and talk to you and be able to hold a conversation. So someone who maybe is quiet doesn't necessarily mean that they're closed off. And I feel like that's the type of people that I mainly see on campus. Like I haven't run into anyone who just was never willing to talk, or who didn't smile back whenever you smile first, or vice versa. So yeah, I would say that definitely those are the types of people I see on campus mainly.
While you were applying to Emory, did you receive any sort of scholarships or financial aid?
Yes, I did, and that also has a lot to do with why I chose Emory, because it helped me out the most. But yes, I did receive a couple scholarships, state scholarships to be specific. So the Sel Miller Scholarship, um, I think there was like the Pell Grant, and then I also received a grant from Emory as well.
So now that you're at Emory, how would you say, how approachable are the staff and the faculty and the administration at Emory?
I would say very approachable. I find myself like getting this close to making friends with the staff, faculty, and administration, like literally from the janitors to the doctors who happen to teach on campus. Like everyone is so nice and kind. I not ran into, but crossed paths with someone who was cleaning around the campus. And we just stopped and had a conversation for like 3 minutes on my way to class. And he was really nice. And it just like really makes you feel good about the rest of your day whenever you are constantly having those types of interactions. So yeah, I would definitely say like there's no fear in reaching out to absolutely anybody who you see who you might think is a good resource, or maybe someone who like you would never guess to have been a good resource. They can be too. So definitely take advantage of that.
While you're having a great time at Emory and like meeting new people and just having the time of your life, like having a blast. When you think back to while you were playing, what did you look forward to?
I think I looked forward to like schools that have good programs as far as pre-health and pre-med goes. I guess I wasn't like looking for, that college has to be perfect with the social experience or like, but I feel like Emory has all of that. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be like repping Emory this hard, but I guess that just all goes to say that I got lucky kind of, and I got exposed to things that I wasn't expecting as well. So I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity.
Earlier, you talked about the programs, the pre-med program. What do you hope the program helps you do in the future? Like what, the vibes.
Right. Yeah. So there are different aspects to the pre-health slash pre-med programs that Emory offers. There are clubs, there are different groups, depending on maybe like what field you can see yourself in. Like uh, further than the medical field. So like the specifics, like what type of doctor you want to be, or if you want to be a PA or a nurse or nurse practitioner. Like they have different groups for like all those small like specifics, and I think that's really cool. There's definitely advisors to get you like the classes that you would most likely need to get accepted into grad school. So what I hope to gain from that, I guess, is to just remain on the right path throughout my 4 years at Emory, and also to network as well, because those advisors that we have, some of them are doctors or PhD holders or actually have that experience in the field themselves. So they know what they're talking about, and you can trust that they are also wanting to help you too.
That like makes me giddy on the inside because that's neato. That's super cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
So now that we've talked about most of the things concerning Emory and the great experiences that you can gain there, in general about the college application process and scholarships and just going to college in general, what advice do you have for incoming freshmen?
I would say not to stress it. I don't know if the conditions as far as COVID are still the same. So I know that some schools are going back to, requiring SATs or standardized test scores. Um, I would suggest, if you haven't done so now, get started on it, or at least make plans or have an idea of what schools that you can see yourself at. You don't have to limit yourself to one type of school. I applied to several different types of universities, and I also got into several of them. And you know, just do your best. Also, don't be afraid to ask for help, ask for advice on your essays, on your question answers. Just be yourself throughout the whole process, and don't overdo it. Don't apply to too many schools. I would say limit yourself to max 10 or 11. Um, and start asking your professors or your teachers now if you have them in mind for letters of recommendations. Start building those relationships if you haven't, and just do your best and good luck.
You heard it here, folks. Vivian Ohanaja wished you good luck. So you should take that luck and put it in your backpack and head further down your journey, because everyone here in this Zoom room right now thinks you're going to end up in a place that you deserve, that best suits you.
Exactly.
And I hope you have a fun time at Emory, Vivian. And I hope to everyone watching this video and thinking about applying to Emory, I hope you get what you needed out of this video. And I hope that you use these answers for different schools, because Emory is not the only place like this. There are a lot of colleges that want to help you and get the best for you.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you for coming and speaking with us.
And that's all for our adventure today. Thank you for listening to CSOs on the Go, and we look forward to keeping you more in the know.